We are on the afternoon break on the second day of questioning of Hn58, the former Detective Chief Inspector of the SDS from 97 until 2001. We have seen more of the reporting by Hn81 about the Stephen Lawrence Justice Campaign. We've seen a lot of stuff that does not in any way revolve around public order policing. We've seen details of the civil litigation that Dwayne Brooks was bringing against Metropolitan Police, and the back and forth with that, really. I mean, it was pointed out by Barr that when one side in a civil litigation spies on the other, that's cheating.
It was definitely one of those moments where you said, oh, you've just hit bullseye with the dart. It's like, this is the big context. Now, so much of the reporting is, discussion reporting is in very small silos. It's just like this. It's like, let's take a step back to the big picture. He's suing you and you're spying on him. And I think Barr is like, okay, well, you can just about let the junior, the undercovers off, the sergeants off. You're head of the unit. You know, your entire responsibility as head of the unit is to note this. It's like we see lots and lots of, well, I always left the day-to-day matters, the operational matters, the reports to the to the juniors. So the question always comes, what is the DCI to do there? It's precisely for this sort of stuff. You take responsibility to recognize you shouldn't be spying on somebody who's suing you for malfeasance.
We saw, I think we've seen more interventions by John Mitting for this witness than any other witness.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah,
but by a bit of a distance almost. I mean, he intervened about 3 times during just that last session. I mean, at one point,
it's very clear that Mitting is forming up views, and he's also very clear that he's getting tired of the fascination by all these witnesses. A lot of the questions going on. Okay, you've word salad it for the last 3 hours. Is your evidence this? It's just like, you can't. I keep coming back to the dark now because that's how it feels like. It's like word salad. I'm just going to cut through the bullshit. What's it?
Yeah. No, there was. We were showing some of the reporting, which was very, very blatantly racist about black people and their volatility, their propensity for trouble. Again, there was no evidence of any of it. It was just, he was asked, is this stereotyping? He goes, oh, no, it's not stereotyping. It's just that there was black people there and they could have caused trouble. The fact they didn't is irrelevant.
Yeah. I never saw any racism.
Never saw
any racism. You know, I think it was like, the very first questions for a lot of these officers is, did you see any sexism written things? Like, okay, let's take you through all the examples where it's blatantly obvious and show how blind you are to it.
There was looking at the Roger Sylvester campaign, which Bernard Redwick, one of the relatives of Roger Sylvester, gave evidence a few months back now, maybe even last year, I can't remember exactly. Interestingly, Mitting's last intervention was to bring that up. I always kind of figured that before the inquiry started, that would be kind of a lot more. What would happen is that the evidence from one of the witnesses is reminded to the police witness when he's talking about it, and Mitting did exactly that, quoting what Bernard Redwick had said and saying that he was moved by it, and did Hn58 agree? And it was that though there might be a time for surveillance, a grieving family is not that time. Which Hn58 said he agreed. I mean, which after he'd been saying that there was nothing wrong, it was fully appropriate reporting to be spying on these grieving families.
Let's not forget that they sent surveillance teams along to Blair Peach's funeral and photographed the people who went to the funeral.
Or filmed it.
And that was 79. They probably were doing that well before. It's like, this is special branch bread and butter. They are that file.
So that, I mean, there was it was very clear that what was being reported in so many of these undercover policing reports was about the political campaigning of family justice groups, and it was put to him: is this not institutionally racist? It's within a few days of the McPherson report being filed. A month later, the SDS are spying on grieving families, talking about their activities, which are nothing to do with public disorder, nothing to do with public order of any sense. It's not demonstrations, about holding stalls, about going along to committee meetings.
It's just grieving families meeting up. I think that was one of the reports that really stood out for me. It was literally a meeting where grieving families got together. You know, it's like, oh, damn, but you can see in the SDS they immediately saw this as a threat. But I'm admitting one of those points admitting came in and just said, what is the policing purpose? You know, you can waffle all you want about needs, blah blah, but there's only one. There's a question to be answered. What was the policing purpose? And you can see the 58 just like, oh, there isn't one. We were just doing what we did. And the question therefore becomes, what was the policing purpose for most of the special branches work?
Well, quite, and it's a political purpose, but that is becoming very clear. It's only a short break. We were late to start this video. We better go back in. Thanks to everybody who's liking and sharing these videos. Makes a huge difference. Anything else you'd like to add?
No.
We'll see you at the end of the day. I'll just say that I think the consensus from those of us in the public gallery is that the witness is absolutely finished. Barr has smoked him, essentially. Please join us at the end of the day. We'll